You pay homage to those that have fallen for the good cause. Even though George Floyd may be, quote unquote, maybe, have fallen for the bad cause, but that's according to his organization. It's separate from society. For society, you want to raise your heroes that have fallen for the good cause, which is for the advancement of our people. Not homosexuals, not migrants, not immigrants. No, the advancement of our people. You LGBTQ, you trans folks, let me tell you something. You really don't fuck with us. You really, really don't. You're straddling the fence because above all, we do share the color. You're straddling the fence because above all, we do have the heritage. But you really don't, not at the core. Not at the core. You want to fight for your ability to be able to come out in public and dress like a female. That's what you're fighting for. You want to fight for the ability to come out and dress like a male. That's what you're fighting for. You are not fighting for the same exact identical things that I'm fighting for. List them. No more picking your brain. Put it on the list. You are not fighting for the system to stop attacking me because I'm a heterosexual male. You need to reverse welfare and the stipulations associated with it. You need to reverse that. You're not fighting for that. You're not fighting for the exact things I'm fighting for. You're just not. You're fighting for your ability to have sex with whomever you want to have sex with and not be chastised or punished for it. That's all you're fighting for. So when you have an African American male who has been killed in whatever fashion, you can find that he was a transsexual. Yes. You can find that he was homosexual. Yes. But you are not going to find evidence that states the police officers drove around and was looking specifically for a homosexual to kill. Because you cannot identify that marker just by driving around in your car. The only way you can identify that marker is, well, for the most part, you guys are flamboyant and you do stick out, but it's not an absolute. It's an indication, but it's not an absolute. But I can guarantee you most of you all would hunt it down because of your skin complexion. Most, not all. You guys like words. You guys like words. Trigger words. Everything and everything, all and everything. So you got to be very careful with you guys because you guys have a white mentality. You think very, very Eurocentric about a lot of things. So things that should not be offensive come out offensive. And things that should be offensive are not offensive. You guys in the LGBT community, you are really, really, really not fighting for the exact things that I'm fighting for. There is no way you are. There isn't. However, because enough of you aren't researched, enough of you aren't learning, I don't care what your age is. I just don't. You cannot have the information that you have and not have the contradicting information. You just can't. And in the theory of journalism, you got to get the positive aspect of the information and you got to get the negative aspect of the information. And you really do have to sit them side by side and compare contrast. Now, once you get the literal aspect of it, you now have to go and get the real world aspect of it. So what do I mean? If I'm 25, and I've been told all my life I feel gay, I am gay. I'm 25. I could not possibly have read 50 books. I could not possibly have read the documentation, especially as time goes on, the documentation gets harder and harder to find. So if I'm 50, and I've been reading this stuff for 30 years. You're now 25. You're half my age. How are you going to find the information that I read 30 years ago? The only way you're going to find the information that I read 30 years ago, one, I have to put it in front of you, or someone like me have to put it in front of you. But if you're 25, do the math. 25 when you were 10, you weren't worried about reading the book if you were homo or hetero. You weren't. You felt a certain way, you were scared, and you wanted to do this, that, and the third, but you weren't worried about the why. You was just simply worried about not being bullied, not being chastised.